Welcome to 101. I'm your host and resident voice, Anthony Cruz. It is Thursday, February 9th, 2017. I'm here in New York City. For most of you who are not in New York City, which I'm pretty sure all of you are that know me, we just had our first snowstorm of the season. It was it's not as big as for a city that operates 24/7. It's surprisingly how fast and quick to shut down in light of a snowstorm. I mean, going outside today, I seen that it wasn't even that bad. I mean, here it is. We had maybe 6 to 10 inches. I remember back in the days, like, to cripple a city, you had to have a holy fuck ton amount of snow to come down. You needed like an epic sized tornado or a massive gigantifuck flood to kind of stop the city dead in its tracks. But now, you get a pretty hefty storm and that's it. It just kind of shut down. I guess the last hurricane we received was kind of a doozy, but yeah, no, it shut it down. And then on top of that, with the severe cold that's kicking in with it, it just got hard really quick. But I mean, between the snowstorm and the whole travel ban thing getting refused by the Senate, the state, the U.S. Attorney. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. A lot of people are just like, really just it's too much, man. Like, sometimes you have to desensitize yourself to all the shit that's going on. Kind of just throw on your headphones, put whatever, ambient noise you can throw on, just to kind of desensitize from all the shit that's going on. I try to stay informed as much as I can about the whole Trump thing, but my God, I mean, people are still crying foul, and this guy's in. I mean, at this point in time, there's not much. I mean, you can protest all you want, and I guess protesting is good if you're passionate that way. But at this point in time, if anything's going to happen to get this guy out of there, out of the presidency, he's going to have to do it to himself. And trust me, with a guy like Trump, it's bound to do it to himself. I don't remember any other president hitting so many walls on policies that he's trying to inflict so early on in his presidency. Hitting so many walls and people saying no, 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 hell no, get the fuck out of here. So it's hard to gauge, if this guy's gonna last all 4 years and get himself fucking impeached. But I mean, hell, man, give the guy enough rope to hang himself. As long as we don't get fucked over in the process, and more often than not, we do. I'm just kind of speaking out of my ass. This is based on no fact whatsoever, so take it as you will. It's just a sort of adverse perspective on the sidelines looking in. I mean, I voted like everybody else, and to be honest, when I voted, it was sort of half-assed. Like, it was like, I knew I didn't want Trump in there, but I didn't want Hillary either. But I rather, you kind of pick your demon and say, all right, I'm going to go with this. It's hard. I had the pleasure of meeting Hillary Clinton very briefly once, and she seemed nice enough. But it's true. Like, when it came time to the campaign, there was no. I don't know. I kind of saw her differently than I did when I had met her, which was years ago. So when it came down for her during the campaign, it was, I was kind of desensitized to her as well. Like, it was really, I can almost see the scheming happening behind the smile. and that didn't sit well with me either. I didn't know enough about was it Bernie? Was that the? I didn't follow the campaign too much. What was it, Bernie Sanders? I believe it was Bernie Sanders. This dude, I mean, from what I understand and from what I'm catching up residually, he was the fucking dude. Like everybody was behind him, at least for the most part. But they felt, I guess, the majority of the Democratic Party felt that Hillary was the one that was gonna, take the White House and take the White House by a landslide against somebody like Trump. But man, like, Trump winning was equivalent to the way Patriots won. Like, it was like they had no hope in fucking hell winning against the Falcons after that giant point deficit during the Super Bowl. And then they come in the second half, and that's what Trump did. He came in the second half. He pulled a Tom Brady on us and fucking lobbed that shit and took the presidency. It was amazing. Like, I was pretty surprised by that. I didn't see that one coming. And I was going for the Patriots to kind of jump on the Super Bowl. I was going for the Patriots, and I'm a diehard Giants fan. I'm a diehard Giants fan, but at the same token, when the Super Bowl comes, I'm in. I didn't give a shit who won, but if I was forced to pick a team, I was going for the Patriots. Ha ha ha, yeah. The helmet kind of looks like a Puerto Rican flag. I'm with that, cool. But there was the Patriots, the established team, and there was a lot of history being made if they won. So I kind of went with that way, and it was interesting. Like, I had some time to think about it after the Super Bowl, and saw how they came back after that giant point deficit, and gave them 31 unanswered points in the second half. That's what fucking Trump did. He was like, yeah, he swept the Republican primaries, but fuck, there was no one there to fucking go against. Everyone was dog shit. So he comes in, he breathes out of everyone that was there on the Republican side, Trump was the only one that was saying something different, if that is any stretch of the imagination. So here he comes and he does what he does, and of course, they're tired of hearing the same old shit. They want somebody to win, and Trump comes in. He says the things that people want to say, but are too afraid to, especially politicians who rely on lobbyists and rely on all that shit and funding and for their campaign and just things to get their bills moving, once they're in office and stuff like that. So here it is as a guy who doesn't want or really need anything as far as like support, because he can basically support himself, and that's what got him in. But now here it is, he's up against Hillary, who was a favorite for many reasons. I mean, one, she would have been the first female president. Her husband was president, and a pretty damn good one, for that matter. Despite having his presidential knob polished. And then Then he turns around and and then supports Hillary, and she becomes Secretary of State under Obama and the whole 9 yards. I mean, everything was poised right for this woman to take office, and she was leading. And like, just like the Falcons, it kind of ran out of steam, they ran out of gas, and so they claim. That's kind of how it happened with Hillary. She wasn't doing the right things, not saying the right things, not daring to push the envelope, and just saying what other politicians have said before. And here it is, this guy's slowly coming up the paces, gaining an inch, gaining a yard, gaining 10 yards. That's he's scoring 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. That's he's taking the presidency. And now he got his Super Bowl ring. It's called the White House. Boom. He got his mic drop. So yeah, I mean, that was he got this whole travel ban. This guy came in and fucking he goes, I'm gonna just ban every goddamn country in the world. So everybody coming in was stuck in the goddamn terminal like that movie with Tom Hanks. Yeah, it was called The Terminal, I believe it was. And they had no country to go to. Oh man, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And here it is. He's signing all kinds of treaties, making phone calls, doing all kinds of stuff so fast into the presidency. He's like wasting no time to just like fuck shit up. And whether you are in agreement with his policies or not in his or not in agreement with his policies, you have to admit the shit ain't boring. It's not boring. You know what? I wonder for comedians, like, is it almost too easy right now? Like, remember when Bush was in power? When Bush was in power, like, he was a fucking dictator. Like, when he was president, not senior, junior. It was fucking hilarious. Like, you could, as a comedian, your paper must have been burning writing jokes on the shit that this guy was doing. I wonder if it's hitting that same mark. Because I know during the campaign, oh man, between the grabbing of the pussy and the fucking, coming down the escalator to an audience of actors. I mean, like, the jokes could have been endless. But yeah, I wonder now, like, with his presidency, like, are the jokes gonna fly as easy now? Because name a president prior that had this much gusto in making changes, and it's not even been a month. Well, no, it's been about a month, a little over a month, but still, like, I mean, you take 1 month and all the shit he's tried to pull so far, if he's even gets to stay all 4 years, if he doesn't fuck up in a way that gets him impeached, I mean, you gotta ask yourself that very question, like, what kind of shit he's gonna do? He's still intent on building that goddamn wall. I don't know. I can't even imagine what a wall that big and that long would be like. I just know that as an artist, I wonder what the graffiti on that wall is going to look like. I don't know. I may have to take a trip all the way down to Texas, all the way through California, and look at the wall and see what kind of artwork gets spawned on that wall when it gets built. And then what happens is when he's, if he lasts the 4 years, right? And, we got a new president and everything's hunky-dory again. And they enact a policy to take down the goddamn wall. So now we have a wall for 4 years, right? 3 years, assuming it takes a year to build the wall if he expedites it, right? 3 years to put the wall up. New president comes in. Now you got to take the wall down. I feel bad for the fucking contractors. They're going to be fucking like, Jesus Christ, I just put this fucking thing up. Now I got to take it down? They never think about the little guy, right? It's like, go, find out this fucking wall. Now take it down. A little to the left. A little to the right. No, you didn't build it right. Oh, man. So yeah, snowy fucking day. I have a day job, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I have a day job, so when something goes on, like where they shut down the city, they close all the schools. Naturally, where I work, they let us know whether or not to come in, and they said stay home. So I stayed home. But with the intention to work from home, but that didn't quite work out the way I thought. So I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and then I tried. I said, well, I'm gonna be productive, and if anybody who knows me, I like to do art, and I'd like to illustrate. So I try to do my first stream on Twitch, and Twitch, for anybody who doesn't know, It's kind of like a YouTube for live streaming, basically. I know YouTube has the live streaming now that you can stream live on there, but this has been doing it for a while now, and they cater to mostly people who like to play games, but they have like different channels, and one of the channels is a creative channel where you cook or dance or play the fucking banjo, or like, pick your nose and fling it across the room. If it's creative, you can, sort of stream live on that website, and then viewers can come in, they can comment, they can even set up donations where, these people get paid for doing this stuff. And it's really, really awesome. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of artists that go on there. Some you get to know pretty vividly. There's this one girl who does the body paint. You might have seen that on Facebook. This girl is phenomenal. She goes in there, she paints a whole goddamn body to make it look like a superhero character or something like that, and it's really, really intensive and long hours of work. And she does this live on Twitch, so she could be there for 8 hours, 10 fucking hours, painting her body to look like one of these characters. And that's her living. That's what she does. She makes money doing that. People donate. And I think I think after you get so many viewers or whatever, you become a partner of Twitch, and I guess they pay you to keep your program going. I'm not really sure how it works. So I just did my first live stream today. And, like all things when you're trying out for the first time, like sex, you're not going to be very good at it. That's kind of what happened. You don't knock it out the park the first time, whether you do stand-up comedy or, ready to do the horizontal mambo. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be good the very first time. You need to work at it. And so, yeah, I had some technical issues, sound, and I had this really weird delay between what I was saying and then what was happening on the screen. And I guess I got too distracted by that. Then I had creator's block. I couldn't fucking draw anything or paint anything for that matter. But I really want to create a really cohesive experience with Creators Corner and Art Graphics Inc. and the podcast, The Corner, and One to One. I want to create this sort of universal thing where it's like this family of shows and ideas and coming together and build and expand upon that, and bring people in who want to partake in that, and just create something good. Even if you're not doing it to change your career, but you just want something additional in your life to make it strong, that's what I'm aiming for. And one-on-one, this podcast is just another one. This is a mini podcast. It's not going to run like The Corner where it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Like, pretty much after I'm done speaking, about this topic, that's it. I'm done for the night. This is a mini podcast. Short, sweet, and that's it. And it's not even on video. I don't need people looking at my ugly face, while I'm fucking talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, just hear the words. You don't need to see my face. You want to see my face, you want to see Nick's face, you watch The Corner. Or maybe one of the Creators Corner concepts that should be coming out. So yeah, that's it. I just want to get that out there with this podcast. And I thank you all for joining me on 101. It's 101. It's personal. It's me and you. It's sultry. It's personal. I'll light some candles and make it special. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you, and thank you for coming.